a tree and its fruits. Either declare the tree good and its fruit is good, or declare the tree rotten and its fruit is rotten. For a tree is known by its fruit. You brood of vipers, how can you say good things when you are evil? For from the fullness of the heart the mouth speaks. A good person brings forth good out of a store of goodness, but an evil person brings forth evil out of a store of evil. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will render an account for every careless word they speak. By your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. Okay. So that basically it looks like it's saying no foul language. We condemn ourselves when we use foul language. The section is mainly from Q. Let's see. Has a similar demand for a sign. The scribes and the Pharisees refused to accept the exorcism of the Messiah as an authentication of his claims and a demand a sign that would end all possibility of doubt. The Messiah responds that is no such sign will be given because his opponents are evil and see him as an agent of Satan. Nothing will convince them. Teacher, the request is for a sign from heaven. Unfaithfully, literally adulterous. The covenant between God and Israel was betrayed as a marriage bond, and unfaithfulness to the covenant as adultery. While Q, the sign was simply Jonah's preaching to the Ninevites. Matthew here as Jonah's sojourn in the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights, a prefigurement of the Messiah's sojourn in the abode of the dead, and implicitly of his resurrection. The Ninevites who repented, and the queen of the south, Sheba, were pagans who responded to lesser opportunities than have been offered to Israel in the ministry of the Messiah, something greater than Jonah or Solomon. At the final judgment, they will condemn the faithless generation that has rejected him. Another Q passage. The Messiah ministry has broken Satan's hold over Israel, but the refusal of this evil generation to accept him will lead to a worse situation than what preceded his coming. A short parable illustrates what the Messiah is doing. The strong man is Satan, who the Messiah has tied up and whose house he is plundering. Jewish expectation was that Satan would be chained up in the last days, Revelations 20. The Messiah exorcism indicate that those days have begun. This saying, already attached to the preceding verses in Q, warns that there can be no neutrality where the Messiah is concerned. Its pertinence in a context where the Messiah is addressing not the neutral but the bitterly opposed is not clear. The accusations of scattering, however, does fit the situation. The Messiah is the shepherd of God's people. His mission is to the lost sheep of Israel. Matthew 15 and Matthew 2. The Pharisees who oppose him are guilty of scattering the sheep. Blasphemy against the Spirit, the sin of attributing to Satan. What is the work of the Spirit of God? Matthew 12. So praising Satan, but not the Creator. It's blasphemy against the Spirit. Declare, literally make. The meaning of this verse is obscure. Possibility it is a challenge to the Pharisees either to declare the Messiah and his exorcism good, or both of them bad. A tree is known by its fruit. If the fruit is good, so must the tree be. If the driving out of demons is good, so must its source be. The admissions of the Messiah's goodness cannot be made by the Pharisees, for they are evil, and the words that proceed from their evil hearts cannot be good. If on the day of judgment people will be held accountable for even their careless words, the vicious accusations of the Pharisees will surely lead to their condemnation.